the 30th day countdown to the 60th National Day anniversary to celebrate the nation's attainment of Merdeka on 31st of August 1957. It is utterly shameful and disgraceful when we should be focused on how to achieve the lost Malaysian dream to be a world-class nation of achievement and excellence in every field of human endeavor. We are instead caught in a dogfight, insulting each other's lineages and heritages. As if further proof is needed, this is more evidence of how serious things have gone wrong in our 6 decades of nationhood. I was in Form 3 in Batu Pahat High School on that day, and all students were assembled in the school padang to hear the proclamation of Merdeka read out by the founding Prime Minister Tun Abdul Rahman at Merdeka Stadium in KL, culminating with the chanting of Merdeka 7 times. Reading out the Merdeka proclamation, Tunku pledged that the nation shall be forever a sovereign, democratic and independent state, founded upon the principles of liberty and justice, and ever seeking the welfare and happiness of its people and the maintenance of a just peace among all nations. When the country achieved independence on August 31st, 1957, it heralded a beginning of a new era where all its citizens could dare to dream big dreams to remake the world. But have we been able to achieve a world-class status in every field of human endeavor, whether political, economic, educational, social, environmental, or on good governance? Today, we have achieved overnight world-class status as a global kleptocracy. The doctrine of separation of powers is suffering unprecedented strain, with the executive led by the Prime Minister and his ministers putting up a world-class charade pretending that the international multi-million-dollar 1MDB money laundering scandal does not exist. Although the 1MDB scandal has not stopped hogging global headlines in the past 2.5 years with new developments and revelations. Parliament, meanwhile, has entered the Guinness Book of Records as a legislature which has refused to allow MPs to question or debate the greatest financial scandal to hit the country, and which has made Malaysia into a global kleptocracy on the ridiculous ground of sub judice to protect the independence and impartiality of the judiciary of another country. While the judiciary is speeding towards the new constitutional crisis with the constitutional extension of the Chief Justice in 2 days' time and the unconstitutional extension of the Court of Appeal President in 8 weeks' time, what is the report card on the state of democracy, liberty, justice, people's welfare and happiness promised in the Merdeka Proclamation 60 years ago? Have we become a more united and a more divided nation? The ridiculous, illogical and even unconstitutional ban of the G25 book, Breaking the Silence, is a distressful sign of a greater racial and religious polarization in Malaysia, a departure from the nation-building principles enshrined in the Constitution, the Malaysia Agreement 1963 and Rukun Negara 1970, and a break from previous 5 Prime Ministers and previous 9 Deputy Prime Ministers. The 9 Deputy Prime Ministers will be the 5 who became PM, and then Tun Ismail, Tun Musa, Ghaffar, Anwar, Abdullah, Muhyiddin, and who would not have approved the ban on the G25 book. Instead of pondering on the gulf between the promises and realities of the Merdeka Proclamation on democracy, liberty, justice, people's welfare and happiness, and the commitment to reform or dedication and determination and resolve to achieve the goals of Merdeka Proclamation in the face of the challenges of globalization, the nation's leaders have descended further down the gutter to insult each other's lineage and heritage. The 60th National Day anniversary and 57th Malaysia Day anniversary should be occasions for moderate Malaysians to launch a virtuous movement of goodwill and solidarity among Malaysians, regardless of race, religion or politics. to build a nation of peace, tolerance, understanding, and mutual respect, to defeat those who want Malaysia to be trapped in a vicious circle of hate, enmity, intolerance, mutual distrust, and extremism. Malaysia is not a nation of one race or one religion, but a nation of diverse races, religions, and cultures. Malaysia as Eastern Asia should not just be a draw for tourists who come to Malaysia from all over the world, as the racial, linguistic, religious, and cultural diversity of Malaysia is a national asset and strength, and not a liability or weakness for Malaysian nation building. Malaysia can become a world-class nation if we can leverage on the best qualities and values of the diverse races, religions, languages, and cultures which meet in confluence in Malaysia. Malaysia is doomed as a nation if we allow the voices of extremism and intolerance full and free reign in our national life. The greatest challenge of Malaysia is whether we can build on the goodwill, solidarity, tolerance, and mutual understanding and respect of the diverse races, religions, and cultures, or allow the voices of intolerance, hatred, and extremism to destroy the bonds of reason, love, compassion, and unity we have built in the past and replace them with hate, mistrust, intolerance, and extremism, which will only end with greater national discord and division. Let us start with full respect of each other's lineages and heritages, especially as all the Prime Ministers of Malaysia have mixed lineages and heritages. Deputy Prime Minister Zahid Hamidi should be graceful enough to admit his grave error of judgment in disparaging the lineage and heritage of Tun Dr. Mahathir. Tender an unreserved apology and let the country move on to properly celebrate the nation's 60th National Day anniversary with the 30-day countdown today. Yes, go in. Okay. Go in, come in.
Questions?
Any questions? Go in, you say a few words. Okay?
A different issue.
All right.